The headlines. DSS bows to pressure, releases Ajaero, seizes passport. Thousands flee homes in Maiduguri as Alao Dam collapses. Residents decry surge in cost of medications, medical supplies as prices soar. And on the foreign scene, death toll rises in Algeria and Morocco following devastating floods. Hello, welcome to News Updates in Trust Television. I am Liliana Gazi. And now to the news. The Department of State Services DSS has released Labour leader Joe Ajaero. Ajaero, who confirmed his release, said the secret police allowed him to go home around 11 p.m. on Monday. The Nigerian Labour Congress president said he was grilled for about 15 hours since his arrest around 7 a.m. at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. Ajaero, however, said his travel passport was seized by the secret police. The Labour leader said though he was detained by the DSS, some police officers also came around to grill him at the DSS office in Abuja over the End Bad Governance nationwide protest that took place in August. Ajaero said he was squeezed over alleged terrorism financing involving a British national, Andrew Wine. Now, joining us via phone, we have the spokesperson of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Mr. Benson Upa, joining us on the phone. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Benson.
That's my pleasure.
All right, Mr. Benson. Joe Ajaero has been released. Can you tell us more about that? You know, was prior information, were you aware that he was going to be released? Was information given that he was going to be released as at when he was?
I would like to confirm the story that he has been released.
All right, go ahead, sir.
After intense pressure from us, our allies, both locally and internationally, because the agents of the state acted in violation of the extant law and the 1999 Constitution as amended. They ambushed and arrested Joe Ajaero without invitation, without prior invitation or notice. That was a reckless use of power. And you only have this kind of situation in a police state. So we find that objectionable, highly objectionable. How can those who call themselves champions of democracy be acting in deficit, in crass violation of democratic principles in this manner?
All right. All right. And now hello, Mr. Benson, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so has Ajaero resumed normal activity? Is he back to the office now? And moving forward, what's the next step for the NLC?
You just, in your review, you have just said that he was picked up from the airport around 10 o'clock, between 9 and 10 yesterday, and was held and grilled for 15 hours. You just said that in your review.
Yeah.
And you know the effects. You listen to me. The physical effects of that alone, aside from the psychological effects, a combination of this is bound to create a certain level of disorientation, no matter how strong that body or mind is. So Joe Ajaero is not in the office.
Okay.
And is not expected to be in the office.
All right. All right. So what's next for the NLC moving forward?
NLC's meeting. You recall in our communique of yesterday, we resolved, among other things, to one, convene the meeting of the National Executive Council. Two, we demanded unconditional release of Joe Ajaero on or before 12 midnight. We put our state councils, our affiliate unions, civil society allies, and patriotic Nigerians on red alert. We also call on the government to cost the immediate release of those held or being prosecuted in connection with the end hunger protest. These were the decisions we took at the end or during the last meeting of yesterday.
Okay.
So in furtherance of this, the meeting of next will still hold, even though we shifted the date from today.
Okay. All right. We look forward to getting more feedback, as the meeting holds and to get an update. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Benson.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Now, moving on to flooding. Thousands of residents have fled their home following a devastating flood which greeted people in the parts of Maiduguri and Jere local government areas of Borno State capital on Tuesday morning. The incident, which began a week ago, reached its peak in the early hours of Tuesday, displacing residents of Fori, Glatmari, Gwange, Balablin and state-owned broadcasting station BRTV and post office Shehu Laminuwe and custom area were also severely affected by the floodwaters. Reports said Alao Dam has collapsed early hours of Tuesday, which posed a severe threat to the residents of Maiduguri. According to a victim, the floodwaters overflowed the Fori Bridge, which connects Fori and Glatimari to Tashanbama, and swept all through homes with incredible force. Many residents were forced to abandon their homes and seek safety elsewhere, as others carried light properties on their head.
Archi kasuye nosku. Archi kasuye nosku nyungu ya chikasuye. Taunje nande chikasuye. Kata chikasuye lupsuna.
Meanwhile, the Borno State government has announced the closure of all government and private schools for 2 weeks due to floods being experienced across the state. A statement released by the Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation on Monday said the closure follows a visit tour to the Alao Dam, a major water reservoir with sources from Lake Chad. The Alao Dam have suffered leakages due to high rainfall, leading to floods in most communities along riverine and flood-prone areas. This is as the 2024-2025 academic session resumed on September 9, 2024. The statement, signed by the Acting Director of School Services, Grandma Bulama, said the visit by the SSG Bukar Tijani was at the instance of the State Governor Professor Bangana Zulum to determine the true state of the dam, which has been a major source of water supply, as well as the cause of floods in past years to the state's capital. In similar developments, the Abia State government has also announced that schools in the state will resume for the 2024-2025 academic year on Wednesday, September 23rd. The Commissioner for Information and Culture in the state, Prince Uke Kanu, who disclosed this while briefing journalists on the outcome of this week's State Executive Council meeting, presided over by Governor Alex Oti on Monday, said the postponement of the resumption date was due to the national public holiday on the previous resumption date of Monday, September 16th. The Commission also disclosed that the state teachers training program will commence from September 11th to 20th to cover the remaining batch of 1,800 master trainers. Kanu revealed that the training program is a part of a wider agenda of the state government to reposition the education sector and forms part of the protocol for the resumption of school for the 2024-2025 academic year. The State Information Board disclosed that Abia has been selected as one of the 6 states to participate in an international medical symposium to be held in Ghana. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, has ordered the Homicide Section of the Force Criminal Investigation Department, Abuja, to embark on a detailed and comprehensive investigation into the alleged killing of Koyum Abdul Yakin Ishola, a student of Kwara State Polytechnic, Ilorin. Abdul Yakin was killed on the 4th of September 2024. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi on Monday said the officer involved in the incident have been identified as Inspector Abiodu Kayode, Inspector James Emmanuel, and Sergeant Oni Philip, attached to the Department of Operations Kwara State Command, and they have been detained for investigation. Adejobi said the Inspector General of Police is deeply saddened by the unfortunate event that led to the loss of a young Nigerian, Abdul Yakin, a national diploma 2 student of electrical and electronics engineering at the institution. The ruling All Progressive Congress has postponed its National Caucus and National Executive Committee meetings indefinitely. The APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morka announced the postponement of the 2 meetings in a statement on Monday night. APC had fixed September 11th and 12th for the 2 meetings respectively, following approval by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The party also published advertorials asking members of the 2 organs to attend. Morka said new dates for the meetings would be communicated in due course. The party did not state any reason for the postponement. As insecurity permeates all nooks and crannies of Nigeria, experts have called for the non-kinetic approach to addressing problems bedeviling the nation. The experts say state legislature also has roles to play in developing pragmatic indigenous solutions to nip the problem in the bud from the subnational levels. Hamid Oyebade files a report.
According to the World Economic Forum ranking, Nigeria holds the 3rd position among the world's 20 most dangerous countries. Over the years, Nigeria government deployed armed forces to combat insecurity, but this has even led to escalation of the crisis in some parts of the country. A professor of defense and strategic studies at the National Defense College, Chinedu Ude, a professor of political science at the New University of Nigeria, Akim Onapajo, and the team leader of the Partnership to Engage, Reform and Learn, John Mutu, charged the state legislators to explore their oversight function to nip the problem in the bud.
And the political insecurity as well, even energy insecurity in Nigeria. So I think it's high time for the state, houses of assembly to rise up to the occasion and take up and make contributions towards solving the security challenges we have in our country.
The state houses of assembly also have a role to play in this regard. They are expected to make laws that would, encourage whatever the government is trying to do.
Instead of leaving it for the executive alone to handle, instead of leaving it to the military to handle, we are exploring how the legislature, as lawmakers, can make laws, can come up with a legislative intervention that will help address those underlying factors that has, allowed insecurity to fester in this country.
The state legislators said they are not oblivious of their roles as they call for full financial and administrative autonomy for state legislature to enable them function effectively and efficiently.
This insecurity has been going on for quite some time, but I must say that the federal government and of course the state government, my own state, are doing the best that they can to make sure that they wipe out insecurity.
The legislature is an arm of government without which there cannot be true democracy and true governance that will benefit the people. We have always contributed, we are contributing, and we shall continue to contribute to the development of this nation.
A local security outfit which is called Operation Rainbow. And that Operation Rainbow is an alignment of all the security apparatus we have in this state and some other local vigilante put together in a set of organization. We in the House of Assembly made that law, and Operation Rainbow has been active. It has helped in containing some of those menaces of insecurity in our areas.
The experts charge state legislators to step up their oversight function and discharge on their mandate so as to make life better for their constituents. Hamid Oyebade Reporting for Trust TV.
This is News Update coming to you from Trust Television. Coming up, Lagos residents decry surging cost of medications and medical supplies. This and more when we return. To stay.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
You are welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update coming to you from Trust TV. Let us take a look at our headline stories again. DSS bows to pressure, releases Ajaero, seizes passport. Thousands flee homes in Maiduguri as Alao Dam collapses. And now to the news. Dealing with widowhood in Nigeria has over the years been dicey due to certain traditional customs and beliefs that deprive widows from asserting themselves and becoming economically secure. Hawa Adamu is one of such widows who encountered challenges after the demise of her husband with her in-laws family. Before settling down, Trust TV's Adamu Imam gathered that she is still struggling amidst the current economic hardship while taking care of the burden of her immediate family. Let us take a look at the report.
Hawa Adamu, a mother of 4, tells Trust TV her encounter with her husband before he died.
My late husband was providing everything for the family, but I decided to start a small business, specifically akara and pap by the roadside. He was even teasing me about the whole thing. Little did I know that was our last discussion. I have tried many small businesses with success, but will not give up for the sake of my children because I don't want them to suffer.
Hawa says shortly after the demise of her husband, the mother-in-law started accusing her and other members of the family of disposing of her husband's properties, leaving her to seek alternative means of livelihood.
My late husband's friend was taking care of me and the kids. So my in-laws concluded that I looted my husband's wealth and was enjoying myself. His mother didn't know that his friend was taking care of us. Even this house we presently live in, he is the one paying our annual rent. They even raised the issue of sharing the inherited properties, but he left nothing for us as far as we are concerned.
An expert on widows' affairs, Fatima Idris Anjuma, as well as student community leader Baba Lambu Waziri, share their experiences while handling issues concerning widows at different levels of community engagements.
So widows are the people that should be taken care of in this country more than any other person, because some of them are left with 10 children, 12 children, 5 children, 3. Even those that are husbands their husbands are alive that have only 2 children are wearing a slippers to run away and leave their wives. What are you going to tell the widows? The widows are the champions of this society. As far as I'm concerned, these women has to be recognized in the society.
They are always helpless. The community, they are not doing very well to them. The families are not helping them. And then the well-to-do, they are not helping them. You see them roaming on the street with their kids, with their children. Sometimes some of them, they will come to community leader. Sometimes they will go to the imam, expecting that you will do something. Crying, some of them, they will think that I never eat, I didn't eat, my children didn't eat. What can you do for me, sir? The only thing we beg them, if I have something, I give them. I don't have, I ask them to exercise patience. Let them pray. We'll be along the way, God will help them.
They appeal to authorities concerned to emplace mechanisms that would protect the rights of widows and also improve their living conditions. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Now moving on to stories surrounding cost of living. As food inflation continues to impact prices of goods and services across the country, residents of Lagos State are lamenting the surge in the prices of medication, especially prescription drugs. Trust TV's Victoria Tokolo reports that many Nigerians are now finding it difficult to afford medicines for themselves and family. a situation that poses grave danger for many, especially those with serious health conditions. The report.
Inflation in Nigeria has affected every aspect of life, including the health sector, with the prices of medical supplies and medications witnessing a significant rise over the last 1 year. In Lagos State, Nigerians have been voicing their displeasure with the surge in the price of medications, which has seen a further increase due to the recent fuel price hike.
Like for instance, now if you come to get a drug and then I tell you the price, and let's say 5,000 naira, they will opt for something cheaper, right? So it's now we see clients coming for something cheaper because they can't afford what they actually want to buy, because it is now expensive, right? So they still come in their numbers because health is wealth. If someone is not feeling fine, they want to get treated, they want to get fine, but they just opt for the lesser one because they can't seem to afford the seemingly expensive ones.
As the country is now, man, I cannot buy. Before medication, this eye drop that I want to buy, it was 100 naira. It's come to 300, but now it's 2,000. I cannot even buy because of the country. Things too hard for the country.
That our government does need to help us because all these things are too much. It of course a lot. See now in pharmacy now, a person want to buy a little drug now. Before, how much they are selling drugs?
To the medication aspect, the increment of salaries, minimum wage they have implemented has affected. They use indirect way to make sure that they take whatever they have implemented out of people's salaries. So the medication area, people are suffering. A lot of people are dying for diseases that the government could have been taking care of them because of there's no money in the society.
To address the issue, Nigerians are calling on the federal government to prioritize healthcare as a critical national concern by ensuring that prices of medications are reduced to enable Nigerians live healthier and longer lives.
And now to some stories out of Nigeria. The death toll has continued to rise in Algeria and Morocco following deadly flooding caused by torrential rains. More than 20 people have died and dozens others are missing in both countries after floods swamped villages in the normally arid region. In Morocco, homes were destroyed and infrastructure including roads, electricity, water supply and phone networks were damaged. Officials say the 2 days of storm on the weekend in some cases saw rain exceeding the annual average rainfall. And in sports, the Super Falconets will face Japan in the round of 16 of the 2024 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup at Estadio Metropolitano de Bogota on Friday, September 13th. To reach this stage, Christopher Danjuma's team steamrolled Venezuela 4-0 at Pascuala Guerrero Stadium Cali on Saturday to finish second behind Germany in the group with 6, having edged South Korea in their opening match that was followed by a 3-1 loss to the Germans, who secured maximum points. They have their job cut out against Japan, one of the teams with 100% record at the group stage. The Asian Giants have also been rampant in front of goal and rock solid at the back, scoring 13 and conceding just 1 goal in the 3 matches to finish top of Group E with 9 points with a whooping +12 goal difference. The man who attacked Ugandan runner Rebecca Cheptegei has died from injuries sustained when he poured petrol over the Olympic athlete. The Kenyan hospital treating him said on Tuesday. Police said that Dixon Ndiema assaulted Cheptegei in her home in Western Kenya on September 1st. The mother of 2 sustained 80% burns and died last week. In the course of the attack, Marange also incurred 30% burns and was being treated in the intensive care unit at Moatichin and Referral Hospital in the Rift Valley city of Eludet. The attack on the 33-year-old Cheptegei has been greeted with sorrow and anger as yet another horrific example of gender-based violence in the East African country. The chairman of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees in Ondo State, Oluwatuyi Olasoji, is dead. Olasoji, popularly known as Soj, had last week slumped while on a long queue to buy petrol and fill the tank of his vehicle at one of the filling stations in the state. The deceased, who was the branch chairman of the NULG in Akure South local government, was immediately rushed to the facility of the hospital for treatment. He was later rushed to the Federal Medical Center, Owo, where surgery was also carried out on him. An NLUG member who confirmed the death of Olasoji to the media on Monday described his death as a very painful one. Still on a sad note, James Earl Jones, a versatile and award-winning American stage and screen actor who used his booming deep voice to bring the iconic Star Wars villain Darth Vader to life, has died. His representative said Monday he was 93 years old. From the works of Shakespeare and August Wilson to his indelible voiceovers in the blockbuster space saga and as Mufasa in the Disney classic, The Lion King, Jones earned fans his ability to play both everyman and the otherworldly. He won 3 Tony Awards, including a Lifetime Award, 2 Emmys and a Grammy, as well as an honorary Oscar also for Lifetime Achievement. In 1971, he became only the second black man nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor after Sidney Poitier. With that, we've come to the end of News Update here on Trust TV. Do want to follow us across all our social media platforms for more news programs and documentaries. Thank you for watching. I am Lilian Ogazi. Bye for now.